long enough and he identified you, and when he identified you, you say yes sir, and then you got hooked in to who you are, and you got strapped in to who you are, and you realize you got snug in who you are, and then it just fits you. It fits you just right. You ain't out of place no more. You in place, and you're able to make a difference because you're where God told you to be. And if you're in the audience today, tell your neighbor, I know why I'm here. I'm not searching for why I'm here. I walk with God long enough. I know why I'm here, and I gotta do what y'all ain't helping me preach it. I've been able 3 or 4 folk know who you are. Won't you look at somebody and say, I know, if you know it. If you don't know it, don't do it. But find somebody and say, I know who I am. God has identified me, and I can work in this thing. I can operate in this thing, and there's some stuff gonna work because is there anybody in here other than me know that you're in place? And well, you need to tell your neighbor, well, you need to shake that thing, and you need to make that thing, and you need to make it work. If you're in place, you need to work that thing. Come on, tell your neighbor, if somebody's standing up and over there, say, honey, work that thing. Say, do that thing. Do it to the glory of God. Whatever you do, do it to the glory of God. If you got God power and you know you got power, you better work that thing. Somebody's life, ooh, I said somebody's life is dependent on you working it. Get up. Don't you dare know who you are and sit down on that. If you know who you are, you better open your mouth and say what God told you to say. Amen to that. It's your time. It's your time. It's a supernatural time. It's when little earth stuff can't stop you. I'm going to show it to you in the text. If we ever get to it, I'm going to show it to you. It's a time. It's a time. It's a time. Nate, it's a time. Watch this. It's a time. It's a time. Yeah, Alan, it's a time. When all the events of your life, good and bad, have pushed you to the point where obedience to God is your primary objective. Can I say that again, y'all? This is when you get to your time, your past can't hold you no more. When you get to your time, the stuff you used to do can't affect you anymore. It's a time where God take all the good you did and all the bad you did, and he wet that together and he makes it good for you right now, and you can look back at what you did and you're not ashamed of what you did. You can say, I did it, but God delivered me, and now I got the power to help deliver you because of where I've been and what I've experienced. I've been through enough to know enough that I know right now I need to trust God, and my primary objective, y'all hear me preach, my primary objective now is to please God. Is there anybody here that have reached the point where, look here, it don't matter what you have done, it don't matter what folk have said to you, you ought to tell somebody, I've reached the point where my primary objective is just to do what God said. It don't matter what you said, it doesn't matter how you look at me, but I've been through enough good and bad to figure out that I gotta trust God. Can I get 3 or 4 folk just to buy in with me and tell your neighbor, I gotta trust God? It's enough bad stuff that happened to me that taught me I had to trust God. It's enough good stuff that he's done for me that taught me I need to trust God. Tell your neighbor, I've learned how to lean and depend on God, and come hell or high water, I got to obey God. I don't care what you say, I got to obey God. I don't care what it look like, I got to obey. 3 or 4 y'all ain't saying nothing. My life has got me to the point where obeying God is not an option. You don't have to agree with it, you don't have to feel it, but I know it on the inside. I'm talking about your time. Y'all ain't hearing me. And see, most of us, we don't learn nothing from life. Don't go through stuff and still be unlearned. Some of us, we want to talk about all the stuff we happened to us, and you still making the same mistake. Tell you never learn something from it. If you've been through hell and God brought you out and you ain't learned to avoid hell yet, you've been drowning and he saved your life and you go back and jump in the water. Won't you look at somebody and say, you're smarter than that. Say, give God more credit than that. Say, at least have a new mess up. Don't do the same mess up. I mean, I can understand it if it was a different mess up, but some of us have the same mess up. Your mess up tired of you. I'm flowing. Y'all do know I'm not going to finish with this, don't you? But hopefully I can get through the introduction today. Listen, it's your time. It's your time. It's a supernatural time when all the events of your life, good and bad, push you to the point where obedience to God is your primary objective. It's a time when you realize Romans 8:28 works. Romans 8:28 works. Man, that's a shouting time for every Christian to get to the point like, wait a minute, I understand that verse. All things are working together for my good. Because you realize you've been through some stuff should have messed you up and should have canceled you out, but you realize that God was still God, and you start turning to him, and God took the mess up and he brought it to right now, and your mess up that was in the past, he didn't let you mess up your future, and now you can do what God told you to do, even though you got a mess up, and God worked it together for your good, and because you messed up, you're stronger, you're wiser, you're better because of your mess up, and you got stronger coming out of your mess up. Can I get a witness? Because I had to work coming out of my mess up, my spiritual strength, I gained my spiritual strength, and I'm stronger now because I messed up. I didn't want to mess up, and I shouldn't have messed up, but because I messed up, God used that to strengthen me. And you realize, this is when you realize your past is sure enough your past. Tell your neighbor, leave your past in the past. That's what past means. That means it's past. Past ain't now. Leave past in the past. Right? Don't bring past in the present. Past don't fit in the present. Past only fits in the past. You got to leave the past in the past. Can I get a witness? Stop bringing the past to the present because it doesn't fit. Use it, learn from it, and move.